How do you find your partner?
You find a cute girl and ask her.
Oh, wow, man. Can I tell about price, or is that confidential? Amish people don't have health insurance.
No. That never crosses our mind.
To leave our spouse.
Ever.
What if they're really unhappy with each other?
Your favorite.
Oh, yeah. Is that chocolate peanut butter?
I do not have a browser.
We see a lot of dangers in having it.
What do you guys not do good?
I've always play outside all day. They're not inside on playing video games at 3 years old or 5 years old.
Can somebody become Amish? Who are the enemies of the Amish?
Very much fear or dread more government control.
If you had any advice.
Go on an internet fast and read the Bible.
This is your guys' full compass through life.
That's songbook.
There's a lot. What I'm seeing out here is the American dream is not dead. Good early evening, guys. Here in Amish country, Ohio, off to a family dinner with an Amish/Mennonite family, and I think some friends. Really looking forward to this one, getting into the conversation with them, trying to learn more about their culture, how they approach the world, look at the world, and eat some really good local food. And pie. The pie is amazing in this part of the country. All right, let's do this. Yeah.
Good.
This is great.
Yeah.
Beautiful out here.
Yeah, it is. It's very nice countryside. We meet again.
All right, Josh.
Yeah. It's coming.
So this is your family's home?
Yes, this is where I grew up, my parents' house.
Okay.
And now since my dad has died, mom lives out here in the apartment.
Okay.
And my brother-in-law, my oldest sister, has bought the place, the house and farm and everything.
Hi.
Here's-
Wonderful. Hello.
Here's my wife, Ola.
Yeah.
Olga, Peter. Nice to meet you.
And you-
Olga or Olga?
Olha.
Olga.
But my
Olga.
passport is Olga.
her
so.
her spell.
Okay.
We just go by Ola, but
So I didn't think I was going to be shaking your hand. That's okay.
Oh,
oh
that's okay.
No problem.
yeah, that's okay.
Josh was saying on the phone, you're from Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
Where from?
Chernihiv.
How'd you guys meet?
Well, my uncle was missionaries over there,
Oh, okay.
Kiev for 8 years.
His cousin was first my best friend.
Ah.
And then I came here to visit her family, and that's how I met her.
You're Beachy Amish, which is more like Mennonites. Am I getting that right?
Exactly. Yes, you're right. And a lot of her family is Amish. Like Marcus Steve, who's coming tonight, he's
Okay.
Amish.
Okay.
So it's not like we're estranged from each other. Like we have a relationship with each
Mhm.
other. We work together and that type of thing. But probably the main difference is we drive cars, they drive horse and buggy. I mean, that's the main difference.
We have electricity.
Electricity off of the grid.
Yeah.
So you would be on the conservative side for the Mennonites,
Probably, yes.
and then on the liberal side for Amish.
Yes.
So you can have the John Deere here, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, that could be Amish, right? This house,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just without the power.
without the electricity.
You take out the electricity.
Depends what kind of Amish.
Yeah,
there
you're
are
right.
Amish who can't have porches,
They can't have porches.
or not porches that have an overhang. Like they can be.
Is it because so the public can't see them?
I don't know why.
Traditional.
And see, oh, that's another thing. The house has carpeting. A lot of the Amish they wouldn't want carpeting inside of their house.
I can't believe this.
Did you know I was going to follow you to Holmes County?
No, you sure don't know everything, do you?
I don't know anything. That's why I'm here. Peter,
Hi, Karen.
nice
My
to meet
wife,
you.
Karen.
Lord, I ask that thank you for this food that we're about to eat. Help us to use the strength we receive from this food.
So what do we have here? Chicken,
We
obviously.
have chicken. This is chicken breast, white meat, and this is the dark meat. And your favorite.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't like salad.
I like salad. I just don't eat dressing.
Oh, the dressing.
Yeah.
Dad didn't either.
That was our
Dad likes that. He would eat salad
Yeah.
dry.
Yeah. It's the way to do it. You're missing out. Okay, so we have chicken drums, potatoes, zucchini, asparagus. Horses are cost $8,200,
Well,
or it depends on the horse.
that's probably an average price right now.
Okay.
But there's people buying buggy horses paying $30,000 actually for buggy horses.
Ridiculous. For a year.
They just print money like it's going out of style.
It got dropped into our checking account.
Marcus is looking into having more kids.
All right, we're talking about a tax credit. I didn't know, $250 per kid. Marcus, you only have...
Trying to figure out my options.
Okay, so what do you guys all think of this?
It's ridiculous.
So it doesn't matter the income, everyone gets it?
I guess.
Yes, everyone gets
Tax
it.
credit.
Is it tax credit? Yeah.
But it's a total of $3,000 per child, and they're dividing it up into $250 payments per month.
Right.
And it extends to a year. You get we have 5 children, so we got $1,250 plopped into our bank account.
For not doing a thing.
You're not happy about that?
Might as well stop
Every
working.
month for a
That's
year.
why nobody has workers.
Right.
Because people don't have to work.
Huh?
You're not happy about that? All that money going into your bank account?
Well,
Money isn't worth
Not-
anything
not-
anymore. Not if you just get it. You don't even have to work for it.
Right.
You have to work for
Like,
it.
that's what's causing all these problems. With people not, you know, you can't hire anybody because they're all sitting at home because they're getting paid all this money. And why would they go to work?
So it's not just at other places in the country. Holmes County, you're having a work shortage.
Oh yeah, we have work shortage here. There's ads run in the paper. You can
Never seen anything like
no, you can go
Never seen
go
anything
clean
like
somewhere for $40 an hour. Go clean something like a hotel or whatever. What was there?
yeah, it was a
Lodging.
lodging place in Berlin.
$40 an hour to go clean. Have you ever heard of something like that? That's twice of what I get paid. I mean, I should go start cleaning.
So basically, Marcus, you're going to start cleaning and having more kids.
Start cleaning and have more children.
Clean up after your children.
We did raise 6 of them, and I'm not looking to do any reruns.
Peanut butter pie? Is that chocolate peanut butter?
Yeah,
This looks like it's
but you
great.
missed your flight. That's what caused everything, right?
Yeah, but still.
On the golf cart?
Oh, we're going to take the cart.
Yeah, we'll just make a quick run.
Yeah, this is homemade ice cream.
Yep.
Your wife made this.
Yes, she made the pie. It's good
Peanut
stuff.
butter cream, homemade ice cream. Wow.
Good stuff.
Oh yeah, very good. Very good. Quite often with peanut butter pie, you don't have that strong peanut butter flavor. But this has it.
Jump on the cart, take a run real quick.
What's down here?
Where? Down where we're going to go look at?
Yeah, where we go? So you guys all live very closely to each other.
Well, he does, I do, and Bryson does. Jerry's live here.
Oh wow, man. This is all your property? What about the field?
No, the field is Jerry's. See, that's the house we just came from.
Okay.
That's all Jerry's. The property line is right there where I planted the trees.
So this is the mode of transportation around here, the golf cart.
For me it is. You go to work, you know, it's leave the car for the wife.
What a place you got here, Josh.
I like it.
Beautiful. So if you go this direction, like your family came from Amish, you went more towards Mennonite, it's really hard to go back the other direction, right?
Yeah, well, I would say. I mean, I have never gone the other way.
Because you have all these comforts, and how do you get rid of a car at this point?
Right. Like, how do I go to driving horse and buggy? And with my business that I do, and I'd have to change everything.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean,
So is there a trend with what's happened with your family? Like, again, going from Amish, the generation before, more Mennonite, more conveniences. A lot of people doing that?
Yeah, there's a trend. I mean, there's always people from the lower conservative Amish moving to more less conservative.
Okay.
And yeah, there's a trend. There's people who go through the system and they start out conservative and they end up all the way to the complete most liberal Mennonite that there is.
Okay.
But
what is that? Going to concerts and bars, stuff like that?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. There's like we just drove past a big church today that actually stopped there and showed it, like Grace Mennonite. Like they just look like the world do. They dress like the world, and they have concerts, and they do whatever they want.
Just like the world, meaning people from outside.
Yes, English people.
English people.
If that's not offensive, or if that's not, but.
Oh, I don't care. But that's what you call everyone outside of Amish Mennonite are English.
Yes.
No matter what they are.
Yes.
Why is that, do you know?
I mean, what else would we call them? Just by their Catholic
Foreigners?
or their foreigners, or like we have a Dutch word for it and it translates to English.
Oh, okay.
Like, so the Dutch word, we would say they're ho.
But if someone was Pakistani, you would call them English?
Yeah. The world needs a place like this, an environment with two parents teaching their kids, not some daycare teaching your kids, not some public school teaching your kids, but the parents.
What do you mean your kids aren't going to go to school?
Yeah, they're going to go to school, but we're teaching. If you know, not what I'm referring to is from day one sending them to daycare so both parents can go get a job, and they don't, you know, from day one when they're that young they have to be taught by their parents. That's more like what I'm referring to.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in your culture, completely taboo to outsource your babysitting and daycare, that sort of stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Like,
And this is the environment, obviously. Your kids can play here, no problem. They don't need
Yes.
supervision even.
no, not out here. I mean, they can run. They play. My boys play outside all day. They're not inside on playing video games at 3 years old or 5 years old.
Can I tell the camera what you told me about price, or is that confidential? I don't have to.
Let me think about that.
So, guys, this place, what is it? 2 years old?
2018. 2
Okay.
years, yeah. It was at the end of 2018.
Okay, all in with everything, $300,000, which means roughly $1,000 mortgage. How many bedrooms?
5.
5 in a basement. That's quite unbelievable. And all this space. What I'm seeing out here is the American dream is not dead. If you can make enough money. I mean, that's not even the price of a room in a bad apartment in a major U.S. city.
Wow.
Like a room.
Couldn't even imagine that. It's crazy. I wouldn't trade it. Wouldn't trade it for a room. And teaching. Because if I would have had a single parent, and my single parent that I would have a job and wouldn't be teaching me anything, how would I turn out?
Right. And because you only go to school till 8th grade.
Right.
So you need more parental teaching in there.
And then as soon as we're out of school, we go to get a job. When we're 16, we start working.
Okay.
So by the time we're 20, we can learn a trade. And it's hands-on.
The trades are active, they're alive and doing very, very well.
Yes, we go, whatever our dad is working or people are hiring, so we just go work.
Yeah.
And we learn a trade, whatever we want to, or whatever's available at the time, or whatever suits, or whatever, you name it, we go do it.
And this is the backside of your family home
Yeah.
growing up.
Yep. Should maybe quickly turn back here and look at the pond.
Oh, you even have a water slide going in.
Yeah. And the pond's
Custom. Homemade, yeah?
Yep. Oh yeah. It's all homemade.
So you know what I'm feeling out here is not much helicopter parenting.
No.
Have you heard of that term?
No.
Just let them loose.
Oh yeah. They'll learn.
You're gonna make all the English people jealous.
Send them our way.
For what?
Just to show the places. Maybe they'll move out here.
Would you want that though?
Well, not really.
Didn't think
I'm
so.
just kidding.
So we're gonna go inside. The guys are going to do some singing, and then I'm gonna try to get into some thicker conversation, into some deeper topics. Watch out! Yeah. All right, I'm watching. Here, you hold this. You gonna be the cameraman? Okay, point the, there we go. There we go. Ready, guys? Can I do better? Where is it, guys?
Right there.
Oh, jeez.
Econ. Hey,
No.
I speak Ukrainian and English.
You speak Ukrainian?
Yeah, in English and
Doc are you?
yeah. I have my boots on.
All right, buddy. Let's get it. All right, man. Ooh. There you go. You're Mennonite, you identify with the religion in your culture. When I say America, what do you all think? What's the first thing that comes to mind? Do you identify closely with the U.S., let's say?
I think we're really sheltered from what goes on in the U.S.
Yeah.
We're probably kind of dumb
To what's going on
to
outside
what's
of here?
going on outside. Like, it's not even a thought process that we think about.
No.
That's part of our normal thought life or whatever.
So what do you think's going on outside of Holmes County?
We just live our life.
We don't know.
Yeah, we do. We do think that's not right.
I don't follow the news that closely. And I would say the main reason is it hasn't ever affected my life that closely. Like, so knowing
What's going on in the rest of the country?
knowing that there has been a mass shooting, say in a city somewhere or somewhere apart from where I'm at, has not. It actually, I think it affects your brain negatively. Now my sympathies go out to someone who's experienced something like that.
But you feel like a disconnect between what's going on here and what's going on out there.
I would.
I would too. I definitely would say so.
Okay, so this
I'm
last
not
year.
troubled by it.
No, it's a way of life for us.
So this last year, COVID, all the craziness that's gone on with the politics.
The worst part of it for us was the annoyance of having to wear a mask everywhere.
Okay, for
That
how long?
was it.
For how long?
Well, we still have to
Whenever
fly,
we went
but
to-
we haven't.
Whenever we
if
went to a public place where like a restaurant or a Walmart or a gas station or.
But okay, you had to fly. Where are you flying?
We just
travel a lot.
We just came home from a funeral
in Wisconsin.
Okay.
We traveled in the last year. I traveled to Haiti twice and to the Dominican Republic once.
She was actually a missionary in Haiti for 5 years, her and her husband.
Okay.
So we do get around. But as far as
So how does it feel when you go into an airport, a major U.S. airport, and when you fly, and when you get out of this part of the country? What are the things that come to mind? How does it feel? Is it very interesting? Is it?
Oh yeah,
it is very interesting.
What is it?
We enjoy.
It used to feel a little intimidating, but it doesn't anymore.
Okay.
She travels more than I would. I'm happy at home. My husband is very happy at home, and he grew up on a farm. We live on a fruit farm, and he just likes raising fruit, and that's what he does. He has a really small world.
Coming out here is about as far as he goes.
Give him fruit, give him pie.
Yeah,
He's good to go.
Our daughters, we had 3 daughters who just got back from doing vacation in Boston.
Okay.
And they were like they could just feel the people staring at them.
Mm-hmm.
They were Amish. They was just something about them, they just felt the stares of the people. Almost everywhere they walked, people just looked at them.
They were wearing the bonnets.
They were wearing their coverings.
Were they hospitable? Were they nice, or just cold stares? Or just curious.
Just curious.
Yeah, just curious.
Okay, I think that's because the English world, being the outside world, is very curious about the Amish, because I think it's either portrayed negatively or it's just not really known well. That's my understanding, at least. It's a community that's sort of closed off. Not everyone's going to allow a camera. I mean, you brought me in, and everyone's open with it here. So it's a bit of a mystery. I guess whatever is not known is always interesting. That's how I'd say it. Do you feel in the U.S., this has been you all were born here, everyone's American, but it's very accommodating to your religion.
It is.
Yes.
Like you have
At this point, it is. Now, it hasn't. At times in war, during when a draft comes around, so we would not support taking up arms and fighting. In the army.
Why not?
because of the same teaching.
We are not in that kingdom. As Christians, we are not. We do not. There's two different kingdoms. There's the kingdom of the world and the kingdom of Christ.
The kingdom of Christ.
Kingdom of Christ.
Okay.
And being followers of Christ, we could not bear arms and kill anyone because it's a different kingdom.
Okay, so with nobody's joining the military here.
No.
If there was a draft, no one would go.
No. We have our people have suffered because of refusing to take up arms. Now it's not that we're not law abiding. We obey the law here in the United States. We pay our taxes and on all that. And if there was a battle or a war, our people have worked in hospitals, helped out in hospitals and that type of way, where we could do good and feel okay about our consciences in that way.
Yeah.
But we would not be okay with taking off and killing and that sort of thing to stop evil. We see that as using evil to stop evil.
There's a big difference from believing the Bible and obeying the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe the Bible and not obey it.
So this is your guys' full compass through life.
That's a song book.
Oh. There's a lot well, not two.
Hymns have a huge part, actually.
Yeah.
Hymns have a huge part in worship.
It connects you guys?
It connects to in worship.
Okay,
there we go.
This is the compass.
Yeah,
I would say so.
Yes.
Just imagine, Jesus taught us or teaches us to love our enemies. Pray for them that despitefully use you. Just imagine how this world would be if everyone would practice that.
Amen.
This sounds a little aggressive, but who are the enemies of the Amish or the Mennonites?
Well, we don't have enemies that are coming here and trying to hurt us.
Right.
But as in, like, I'm trying to think of an example.
Would you say ideology could be an enemy, or modern culture, or social media? Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Anything that gets in the way between me and God can be an enemy.
Okay.
I think that's what Jesus was teaching.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone being left out in the community? Like, I don't see any homeless. We are in the countryside. But are there some serious dysfunctional families? Is it like the rest of society? Or is it really too good to be true?
It's not too good to be true.
We're
We are
very
common
normal.
people. We are like the rest of the world as far as, yes.
Family life,
but
relationships.
I'm not painting. I don't want to paint a too rosy picture, but there are things about. So, for example, if a hospital bill comes up,
We had a single girl in our church, 55 years old, who had ended up with a lung disease.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a process of maybe about a year. She had a lung transplant and ended up getting COVID and a lot of complications, and she lost her life. She passed away. And our church, she was hit with a $1.3 million hospital bill.
Mm-hmm.
So
she didn't have insurance.
We have what we call church fund, but it maxes out like at $180,000.
Okay, so Amish people don't have health insurance.
No. We have our own Amish plan, but it maxes out at $180,000, I think. And
That's through you, not through the government at all?
Exactly.
Not through the government at all.
So no Obamacare going on here?
No, not at all.
Why is that?
We're not part of that kingdom. And that is also why we don't see this government handout money as something that.
Very reluctant to accept.
It's not a good feeling?
No, we're reluctant to accept that. Because we also don't have insurance. We don't have life insurance. We don't use government money.
You have car insurance, though, right? You have to have that.
Within our church.
But it's also
your own Amish insurance, car insurance. Okay, and Marcus, I apologize, but I cut into the one point something
getting
million.
back to this girl who had a lung transplant.
Yeah.
Ended up with a $1.3 million hospital bill, which we as a church felt pretty helpless as far as covering that. And I think our church we ended up with like a couple $100,000 that we paid towards that bill, and then word was put out to the whole community that we needed help with this bill.
Mm-hmm.
And in a matter of a couple months, that bill was paid off. Unbelievably.
From the Amish and Mennonite in Holmes County?
And Mennonite.
Yes.
Just anonymous donations. No one knew who paid it. We don't know who paid it. The money
And
just came
we
in.
as a church felt very humbled about that.
How do the Amish in the English, the non-Amish, get along out here?
Very well.
Good.
There's
We
no
have good friends.
barrier, there's no problem between the two?
Not
Now,
typically.
yeah, you have your individuals that
Sure.
cause trouble, but
Sure,
I would
majority.
For the
I would
most
say
part, it's a very
majority,
good relationship.
we have a very good relationship.
It's always been that way?
It's so long as we can
Not
remember.
as long in our lifetime it
Now,
has.
now
but
say a draft comes around, and so
Okay.
then our
That's when
different
it gets sticky.
values,
Yes.
different values come up.
We've had it very nice
You
here in
know,
America.
so for
Like as
example,
far as
in
living
World
out our
War I,
Christian life, we've
We've been blessed.
been
so far.
blessed.
But that's just in your lifetime.
In
In
my
America
lifetime.
already, there have been, especially during the time of the draft, it was not a nice thing to be
Yeah.
Amish or to be Mennonite.
Exactly, because patriotic feelings come to surface among the world, society in general, and we wouldn't participate in that.
Gotcha.
And so that
They were
puts
looked down
us
upon.
on almost as traitors to the country, to America.
Mm-hmm.
In
By
that sense.
the time
So
World War II,
that's tough for you guys because your book, your religion is saying there's no way you can take part in conflict.
Absolutely. I think
But
you
then
understand it.
the country, which allows these freedoms for you to practice your religion, is asking for it.
Yes.
So there's like friction there.
Yes.
But by the time World War II rolled around, there was programs set up that satisfied our government and satisfied us as our beliefs.
Okay.
That we could participate in, not in the actual fighting like Brad was saying, but working in hospitals
Mhm.
and other programs that everybody was satisfied with.
How much does the modern world press on your values, your beliefs, your lifestyle, your way of life? Now we look in this, we're in a very nice house, beautiful house, all the nice amenities outside. So you've adopted the modern world, obviously, to some degree. But the world in 2021, social media, all the digital space, is that pressing hard on the culture? Or are you guys
Very,
standing
very
very,
hard.
okay.
We're not standing strong.
It's
So
hard, huh?
It's separated a lot of churches, groups. It's actually like I don't know what you would call it.
That's true. Like that is.
It's bringing
I would
separation
say the
to our
digital
people.
world is probably what's the controversial subject among our society right now. How should we see? We're grappling with this and trying to figure out, as a whole, trying to figure out how should we handle it. Do we want to embrace it, or do we want to push it out? Because we never embraced television. The plain people never took television into their home.
Okay. But now
things like internet, smartphone, and that type of thing comes up.
Everything that we pushed away is now all on one thing, and that's internet. Like we never accepted TV, radio, things like that, and now it's everything on one small gadget.
when did it really take off? Recently or
Gradually.
for a while?
It came into our churches gradually. Some people got it, and some people did not want to have it,
Okay.
and then it caused conflict.
That's exactly right.
So how do you guys handle it? I'm sure everyone's different in here, but
We
I know you
have-
have smartphones.
So I have a smartphone.
Yeah.
I do not have a browser on my smartphone. So I erased the browser, and it's intentional.
Okay.
I took the browser off. I have a smartphone so that I can call and text.
Yep.
Otherwise, I don't have access. I've got maps, but I don't have access to the internet on my smartphone. Now, see what he has to say.
I talked
deal
about
with
it.
it in different
I
ways.
talked about it today.
Tell us quickly.
Okay, so I have a smartphone as well, and I have a blocker on here that blocks all pornographic and all of that stuff.
Okay.
And I can customize it to what apps I can have. Like I would have YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I would have that. But then it's it's up to the individual then. And then I have a blogger on here, and we have accountability groups in our church. And I'm accountable to what I use on my phone to other brethren from the church.
Okay. What about you, ladies?
My phone.
I have the same thing Josh has. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your
My phone. I have a flip phone. I'm actually not sure where mine is at. And mine doesn't have any data on it. My husband shut off all the data. And so what I can do with my phone is I can call and I can text. But like I cannot receive any pictures or even group messages because all the data is cut off.
He shut yours off. Do you shut his off?
He did. He shut his off too, yeah. We're on the same page.
So you guys like regulate each other?
No, we don't have any internet access on the phone. So, and we actually don't have any internet at all at our house or anything.
You're offline completely?
We're offline. By ourselves, we choose to live that way because we enjoy being simple and I don't know.
See a lot of dangers in it.
We see a lot of dangers in having it.
So as you can see, you've hit among the topic where there's
a lot
there's different feelings.
And that's within this group. That's sort of
family, like this.
one family.
And we're all in the same church.
Okay.
We're all in the same church.
The more conservative it is, the more rules there are, the more they come from the top as far as the priest or the bishop, whatever you want to call it.
So when people say the Amish, in my world, the English world, they put one label. Amish people are X, Y, and Z, right? And what I'm learning is it's very complicated.
They're from A to Z.
It's many things.
For an outsider, it's very complicated to understand.
It's not a homogenized entity.
We don't just live for ourselves. There are things that I do or things that I do not do because of what my brothers and sisters say.
Like a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice, and it's something that you submit to each other. We agree we're not going to do this, and it might not be something like there are churches where no one has any phone because they all agreed we're not going to. And even if some people think that it might be okay, they still choose not to because the others.
That's the agreement.
That's the agreement, and they're happy about that. That's the way it should be.
And you guys are growing, right, as a population?
Yeah.
Very much so.
How many?
You see the little children?
Yeah. A few of them back here.
The Amish population doubles, is it every 20 years, I think?
So where are you going to expand? Ohio?
They're going everywhere.
There's Amish in
Almost
about every state in the United States almost. Maybe not quite. Not quite.
Almost.
I know you're going to start the California movement, Marcus. I could feel it.
As soon as you get rid of that governor, I might.
I love him. Marcus for governor. You know he's got a recall. I'll vote for you, Marcus.
On the buggy.
From Brazil. His name was Pedro. We still have contact with him. And he spent 9 or 10 months living in this house. Somebody in the county here got mom's name and called here and asked if they would house him. He stayed here for a school term. When that boy came, mom and dad picked him up at the airport. His face went white. He hadn't never heard of Amish or Mennonite people. He came home with them here. He was freaked out. And he was on his phone. Glued to his phone when he first came. Glued to his games, his electronics. That's all he did. It took him some time, but he got away from those things. And that's one of the things he admired most, or one of the things he thrived in that environment.
Yeah.
He loved going outside. He loved going to church with us. We would sit here play games every evening. We're game players. All those things were so different from growing up in the city in that little apartment on his electronics all the time.
Yeah.
And just lately, he got in touch with us again, and he misses that. It's been years, but he's back in that world of insanity, and he misses this. I had to think of that when you.
I understand because I am stepping into this world. I can feel it. I can admire it. I can appreciate it. But then I'm very much in this digital world because I'm making videos.
Because that's what you do.
Because that's what I do. And so I love that.
Yeah.
but I see the danger in it too. So what else do we got to say? We've touched a lot of topics. Marcus, do you have any wisdom you got to drop?
5-6 years ago, we had 2 boys from Germany who stayed at our house for, I think, about 2 weeks. And just what Janet was saying, in the evenings we'd build a fire, and we'd sit around the fire and talk and eat, and they were just so amazed. I remember one boy was told me that I come home from work and nobody talks to me. I mean, we just look at each other, nobody talks. And this is the way things should be as a family. We can sit here and talk and have fun, and he was so excited about that.
I think we take it for granted.
Things like that we just take for granted.
It's just that's the way
that's normal for us.
It's interesting. The foreigner comes to the U.S., even though Germany is a very modern country, comes to the U.S. to feel let's call it primitive, off-the-grid lifestyle. And that exists in this country. That's what I find beautiful about the U.S. is we have so many different types of people, so many different lifestyles. Like how you guys are living is the polar opposite of how, say, people are living in Los Angeles. The average person, you can't even say the average person there because that's a whole nother universe. Just in that one city, people are living so many different ways. So the more I do this work, the more I realize how beautiful it all is. And it works. It's like all the animals from the zoo in one cage and we sort of get along. That's how I feel, at least. Because this country allows you to be who you want to be, I feel, with the least amount of resistance. Nobody's telling you guys how to be.
Very much so.
Nobody's saying you got to do it this way. Is that a fear at all? That anyone will try to change their life?
It is.
What's the term?
We're aware that things could change.
And things are changing.
Things are changing, but we also trust God. That's what I mean by saying we shouldn't fear. I don't feel
very much fear or dread more government control
in
our lives. But like Jana said, we still trust God that things will work out.
I think we take for granted our heritage and our upbringing and all of that.
Being raised by 2 parents even.
Yeah. It's normal for us. We don't think about it every day.
And even like for divorce and remarriage, we didn't even talk about that today. But like, that's not even an option for us.
No.
That never crosses our mind.
To leave our spouse.
Ever.
What if they're really unhappy with each other?
You still live in the same house. You don't leave.
No.
You get marriage counseling.
You get help.
And you get help.
People can show you,
Is it
commitment keeps people together, and there are people within our circles who help people who have struggling marriages if they want help.
But are there unhappy marriages? Yeah.
Yes.
There are unhappy marriages, but people stay together.
Just recently there was a marriage performed where I heard that the one who performed the marriage, part of the vows were that he pronounced. He said, "Stay together as long as your love doth last."
As long as your love lasts?
Stay together as long as your love doth last. That's completely false.
That's the first time
you know what
that.
my mom said? The reason you get married is because when you fall back in love again, that person is still there. Is that a good way to look at it?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Okay, so the divorce rates are very low. Here.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're almost not
in the
existent.
Amish and Mennonite community, nobody divorces.
Nobody gets
What about are the marriages arranged at all?
No.
How do you find your partner?
You find a cute girl and ask her.
Usually the boy will maybe tell his dad that he has an eye on this certain girl. He's interested in her.
Yeah, the boys ask the girls.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, the boys ask the girls.
Girl never asks the guy.
But are you marrying families? Is that a big thing? Like the family has to approve?
Yeah, usually.
Yes.
Should approve.
Should approve.
Okay, so what do you guys not do good?
What do we not do?
Okay, you do community well, you do pies well, you do gardens and lawns really
we
well.
We don't always do relationships well. That would be probably the number one thing. Don't you?
I told him we marry our second cousins.
And
ooh, that's a problem.
We try not to.
I know, but wouldn't that come under the category of something we don't do well? Like,
I'd say.
or
so there's some things that we don't do well that we want to do well, but we don't do well. And one of those is when other people from society, someone like you or someone who hears about us comes and wants to join our group, we want them to come. But we almost, like, we have a family. We aren't used to people who don't come from these families.
Okay.
And we want to welcome them. We want them to be here. We want them to be a part of us. But we generally don't do well with that.
We have a hard time.
We try to keep learning and keep working at it.
Do you think that's a strength or a weakness?
It's a weakness.
So we
Marcus? Weakness?
Probably.
But how do you keep so close? I mean, humans are tribal. You guys stay so close because you're so close.
Well, it's not an option. I mean, getting along with family, with community.
Goes back to the Bible. It's
like staying married.
It's
I mean,
it's part of our heritage.
But the Bible also teaches us, Jesus' command before he left was to reach out, go ye out into all the world and teach all nations, baptizing. We have to stay open to reaching out to other people. And sometimes we can miss that by just
protecting ourselves.
Can somebody become Amish?
Absolutely. It's happened quite a few times.
We have a couple in our church.
Maybe. Another couple years like this last one, I might jump over.
We have a couple in our church.
The camera? No, I can't do it. You know what I think it is? People are dying. The modern world is going away from community, so when they see what you guys have, they want that because it's the most natural thing.
Yeah, community.
And believe it or not, those forces enter our community as well, and those forces want to drive our community to nothing as well. Individualism is a problem. I see it as a problem. And so that's another problem where I think we as communities need to actively deal with to keep our bonds of brotherhood strong.
So nobody thinks in an individualistic mindset here?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
But I would
But
see
it's
it
a
as a
problem.
weakness. It's a problem. That's a weakness.
Like you're asking for one of our weaknesses or one of our problems.
we don't
or
do
what we're
good.
not good at. That's something we're not good at.
Because we live in the society that we do, we tend to become individualistic or have that mindset as well because things do rub off on us, but we work against it because we see that the Bible teaches there is value in community, in being with our brothers and sisters and making decisions together and listening to what that they have to say, not just choosing what looks good to me and right to me.
Right.
That's even maybe one reason we would not want to have internet is because if you get involved in stuff like that, you can just help yourself in whatever you want to online. The need for each other isn't there as much.
The instant communication digitally breaks down the face-to-face real relationships.
Has the potential to, for sure.
It has that potential.
If you had any advice.
Go
Read the Bible.
on an internet fast and read the Bible.
Okay. What if someone's not going to read the Bible? Because a lot of people aren't going to read the Bible. What? Go on an internet fast?
Go on an internet fast and spend time with your family. Spend time with the people you love.
Okay.
Observe nature and think about who created the world and you. What's your purpose?
What are you doing with your life?
God,
In an airport, put your phone down and talk to your neighbor.
In the airport.
Wherever you're at.
Don't just sit there on your phone. Build relationships wherever you're at. Talk to someone. Care about their life, not just your own.
All right, guys. This was good. You gave me a lot to think about. A lot to work on, actually. But
we need to work too on
We're actually telling ourselves all these things too.
Yes. We're by no means better than anybody else.
We do not want to be condemning at all.
No.
All right, I'm going to close in on Marcus. Marcus, last words?
Very good advice from everyone.
All right. Perfect. All right, guys. Thanks for joining the dinner. Even though I didn't shoot you guys you don't eat at once. You sort of eat here and there, right?
Yeah. Summer nights are an exception. If there are big crowds of people, we do it more this way.
Okay. Well, fantastic food. Mm-hmm. Thank you, chefs. Love the pie, especially.
Good.
Amish pie is unbelievable. Mennonite pie, Amish pie, same thing, right? All right, guys. Thanks for coming along. Until the next one. Okay, who decides to dress green? Whose decision is that?
Mine.
Why?
I don't know. I just picked the dress out of the closet.
Should I improve my style? Is white sort of boring, maybe? Yeah, a little boring? My style's not so cool, huh? Thank you.